Welcome to Nonsense Season. Well, okay, no, there's no CJ here today. He's with his friend Sean. I got a text from him that said, I'm trying to sort schedule to go back to Detroit next week to catch a couple of Tiger games, but it's going to monkey with our recording schedule, so let's connect to discuss before I book flights at your leisure. I said, CJ, it's baseball. Your team's in the hunt. Go! He texted me back, okay, I have tickets for 2 and wed games in Detroit. Also bought seats for Wings home opener on Thursday. My dad's going to join us too. So CJ's in Detroit enjoying the Tigers-Mariners American League Division Series. The Tigers are favored after stealing one in Seattle. Lucky for CJ, the game 2 Tigers lost means he gets to see 2 games in Detroit because, best of 5. Meanwhile, on my TV, the Dodgers were slugging it out in Philadelphia and are back in Los Angeles tomorrow. Further tying CJ's world with mine, former Tigers GM Dave Dombrowski serves as the president of baseball operations for the Phillies. At 69, he's the oldest person in charge of a major league front office. Of the 9 teams that split their opening series, 8 of the Game 1 winners wound up winning the series, regardless of whether or not they were the home team. In the Dodgers-Phillies Game 1, Shohei Ohtani became the first player in MLB postseason history to record 9 strikeouts as a pitcher and at least 4 strikeouts as a batter in the same game. He also became the first player in MLB history to start a postseason game as both the starting pitcher and leadoff hitter. The only other starting pitcher to hit higher than the 8th or 9th spot in a postseason lineup was Babe Ruth, who batted 6th in Game 4 of the 1918 World Series. Shohei Ohtani, who earned the win, and closer Hiroki Sasaki, who earned the save, were the first Japanese-born starter and reliever to earn a win and a save, respectively, in the same MLB postseason game. I'm not doing a full show here by myself, but I did also want to mention it's Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. We talked about shelters as an economic indicator last week, and many shelters are full to capacity. If you're ready for true unconditional love, look no further than your local shelter. These wonderful dogs just need a comfy couch and a human to call their own. Skip the store, adopt. Also, Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days kick off today. As always, none of the things I need are on sale. It's finally cool enough that Barkley has started hiking Runyon with me again. That might be why you're hearing extra loud snores today. And while I have the mic set up, there are a few headlines you shouldn't miss. Sora 2 has the movie studio's panties in a bunch from 2 directions. 1, complete copyright disregard. OpenAI has completely reinvented copyright law by saying Sora 2 is opt-out. You have to tell them not to use your copyrighted materials. Obviously, you can't just reinvent copyright law to work however you want it to. So clearly, OpenAI has made some calculation that they'll make more money from the copyright free-for-all than they'll ultimately lose from lawsuits. And 2, the other reason movie studios' panties are in a bunch, Sora 2 is pretty good. For almost no money, you can create little scenes that would be so expensive that previously only a large movie studio could afford them. It's only a matter of time before some creative person uses AI to shot by shot make a really good movie. The moat studios had around their business, ungodly cost, is gone. And as the Taylor Swift movie that came out this last weekend proved, you don't need a movie studio for distribution anymore. All those theaters that were packed with patrons, Scott Swift, Taylor's father, made the deals with them, keeping the vast majority of all that box office cash in Taylor's pockets instead of a studio's. ICE wants to build a 24/7 social media surveillance team. ICE is planning a major expansion of its social media surveillance capabilities by seeking contractors to run a multi-year 24/7 intelligence program focused on targeting people for deportation. The agency wants to hire 30 private analysts to be stationed at its targeting centers in Vermont and Southern California. Their job would be to scour public posts, photos, and messages on platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, converting this open source intelligence into leads for enforcement raids and arrests. Draft documents show the program is ambitious, requiring contractors to process urgent cases within 30 to 60 minutes. Analysts would use powerful commercial database like LexisNexis, Accurate, and Thomson Reuters Clear, which knit together personal details from property and utility records. ICE also wants contractors to propose integrating artificial intelligence into the hunt. This initiative is the latest in a series of surveillance contracts pursued by the agency, which critics warn may bypass legal constraints and endanger free speech. This is probably a good time to get off of social media. Meanwhile, Apple has removed ICE Block from the Apple Store. They'll no longer allow apps that report the locations of ICE agents. If only there was some sort of open web where, say, Pages could show this kind of information. And finally, Electronic Arts' $55 billion takeover could set the stage for $100 video games before Grand Theft Auto 6 even launches. Rob Wilson, Director of Executive Education at the University Campus of Football Business in London, said EA's flagship titles could be the first to tip past today's $70 benchmark. Quote, the idea that new blockbuster titles might push toward $100 or even $120 is not far-fetched, especially since speculation around GTA 6 suggests the industry is already flirting with that threshold. The priority will be be squeezing every incremental dollar from existing franchises rather than funding risky new bets, unquote. EA, the company behind FIFA, Madden, and The Sims, is close to being taken private in a deal worth $55 billion, according to the Wall Street Journal. The buyout would involve Silver Lake, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, and Jared Kushner's firm, Affinity Partners. Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. So yes, this deal will get approval. If finalized, rather when finalized, it would mark the largest leveraged buyout ever, surpassing the $45 billion purchase of Texas utility TXU in 2007. I'm torn here. I'm seeing so many games being given away for free with great financial results from in-app purchases alone. It's hard to imagine more gaming companies not going to this model moving forward. On the other hand, with AI programming and art creation cutting development costs and time to a tiny fraction of what they once were, are game companies going to run smack into the same fate that it looks like movie studios are facing? Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm Jeff Parker. CJ and I will be back next week for more nonsense. While I was recording this, CJ sent in a clip of his own, which we'll close with.
So I'm heading back to Detroit for the Tigers ALDS games. Me, my dad, and my buddy Sean. Between the two of them, it's basically a Make-A-Wish trip for seniors. I'll be the one in a ridiculous tiger stripe blazer because nothing says serious baseball fan like looking like Siegfried and Roy's intern. We're calling it the Geriatric World Series Tour. I'm just hoping the Tigers win before someone needs a nap, a bathroom break, or a defibrillator. And after that, we're going to go watch the Wings home opener on Thursday against the Canadians. Nothing like an Original Six game to start out the season. Wish me luck, everybody. See you next week.